my little title tells, how y'all doing today? Well, if you are Jennifer Lopez, baby, you are trying to do a rebrand, rewrite history, and do everything you can to convince us that Ben's the one. But we think she protests too much. See, here's the problem, Jennifer. The girlies that know still remember. You are literally acting like you are now Betty White talking about stuff that happened when you were 25 years old. We all remember the way Ben literally, in my opinion, used you, then cast you aside when he fell in love with Jennifer Garner. And now it's not enough you found love. It's not enough that you have like your people putting press release after press release about how you're so happy. No, now you're trying to convince us what happened in history when you just did an article. I think it was our Harper's Bazaar, Elle, or Vogue, when you said that Ben leaving you broke you. But y'all, let's get into this revisionist history because, baby, one thing that I do know about Jennifer Lopez, when things are going good, she's very quiet. When things aren't going good is when she goes out of her way to convince everybody that she is so in love. Let's get into this, right? The forever kind of love. Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez were the power couple in the early 2000s, and nearly 2 decades later, they got engaged again 1 year after rekindling their romance in April 2021. Oh, and another thing that we can say is Jennifer pretty much confirmed what we all knew, that you had to rush Ben down the aisle because Ben was getting cold feet. You wanted the big wedding. Ben was getting cold feet again, but this time, unlike what happened in 2020, you said, okay, baby, let's do the elopement. Because last time he tried to do the elopement, and not elopement, but a very, very small wedding. And she was like, no, she wanted the big extravaganza. But Jennifer Garner said yes to it. But this time, let's get into this, right? Okay, so where were we? Jennifer Lopez says her Las Vegas wedding to husband Ben Affleck was a spur-of-the-moment decision, but it was Ben's spur-of-the-moment decision. On Wednesday, right? She said, we were planning on getting married in August in Savannah. The family was going to be there. Everyone's going to be there. And it was so stressful. For who? You had a wedding planner. So Ben was stressed out because I don't care what anybody says. Jennifer can play this role if she wants to. We know you loved every minute. And there's nothing wrong with that. Jennifer loves love. She loves being a bride. She loves the spectacle of it. And that's no shade. I love spectacle too. Y'all know I'm dramatic. But she loves the spectacle of it. So part of Jennifer being in love is being able to show everybody how beautiful her wedding is and how perfect. Someone that wants that, you can't say it was stressful because you loved it and you were waiting 20 years for it to happen. Girl, please. So let me read this in real talk. Ben was super, super stressful about getting married to her. Why? Because Ben has showed over and over and over through the time that here's the thing. I think Ben has some form of anxiety. I think he gets stressed out very, very easily. I also believe that Jennifer, in his mind, is not worth it. It's like he did a bad film with Jennifer and he got dragged by the critics. And to him, that wasn't enough to hold the relationship because he was mad. But yet he did 2 bad movies with Jennifer Garner. But that relationship with Jennifer Garner was worth it. And it became a robot, but not something that defined and was reason to leave her. And this is even before they had kids. You see what I'm saying? Y'all see what I'm saying? Anyway, right? She said a month before, and I don't know if you guys know this, but 20 years ago, we were supposed to get married, right? She's on Jimmy Kimmel's show. And he's like, I heard that, I read that. And she said, it all kind of fell apart back then. And this time I absolutely had a little PTSD. And so I was like, is this happening? When you said this happening, you mean that you just confirmed that just like 20 years ago, when Ben was the one to get cold feet, he tried to do it again. And she's like, wait, is this happening again? Because somebody with the anyway, let's keep going. She said, we were so happy. And of course it was happening. But I just felt like the wedding was so stressful. And one day Ben just says, F it. Let's just go to Vegas and get married tonight. So Jennifer, she said, I was just like, this is crazy. What are we doing? So Jen didn't want it. Ben was the one that really pushed for it. And unlike last time when she put her foot down and he was like, well, forget it. It's too much work. This time she's like, yeah, sounds perfect. She went on to reveal that Ben handled everything. and reassured her he was going to have everything set up. So then we get on Spirit Airlines. It was the best day of our lives. Now, you know, Ben booked Spirit Airlines on purpose. I don't know. Let me just say this, right? Pause. This is my issue with Ben and Jen. Ben knows what Jennifer likes. He knows what she loves. He always tries to not humble her, but force her to live in his world. And the only time he comes to her world is when he wants to visit. Don't nobody say Ben doesn't like the spotlight. He loves the spotlight. He loves using Jennifer for publicity. He loves the clout she brings. But when he feels like he can't benefit from it or control it, that's when he gets mad. But the fact that he knows, and let's also not forget, the wedding is for the woman. Okay? And marriage, you can say I was raised to serve my man, all that stuff. Women traditionally take over marriages. And if the woman you're with, not all women want huge marriages, but if the woman that you ask to marry decides that they want a huge wedding, I think it's very messed up and very cruel that you try to rob them of that by saying, oh, let's do what I want to do. But I already said I would be your wife. You already humiliated me 20 years ago. You already left me at the altar. You already did all these things. Now it's 20 years later, and I just want to walk down the aisle, and the first time we kiss as man and wife to be in Georgia in your plantation style house. I know, we'll talk about that later, that she got married basically on like a causeway plantation. I know, right? But instead, you robbed me of that, and you made our first kiss be man and woman in the courthouse. Now, I know a lot of people can say, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Love is love. But if it doesn't matter, then why didn't Ben just do it her way? Do you see what I'm saying? This is my issue when people are like, it doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter because we're doing exactly what you want. But if it doesn't matter, and I really care, and I really want this, why can't I have the things my way? Oh, I get it. It doesn't matter when it comes to things I want. Again, Jennifer, and this is the last thing I'm going to say. I don't know if it is smart, nor wise, nor prudent, but it is Jennifer's life to wrap your whole life around someone that if you don't cave to them, and if you're not on the same road as them, then they veer off and they just leave you where you're standing. Again, that selfish streak in Ben that he's had for a while, it hasn't gone anywhere. And the Spirit Airlines, you did that to humble her. You did that because you were, in my opinion, Jennifer Lopez, Spirit Airlines. Listen, anybody that's flew on Spirit Airlines has been like, oh my God, right? You did that because in a weird way, you were still trying to shock her. Why did you ask this woman to marry you? And you know, Jennifer has not changed who she is at all. Good or bad, lover or hater, she has been entirely consistent. Ben's the one that keeps like putting on new masks and new face. That Spirit Airlines again, Jen. Anyway, right? Ben and Jen walked down the aisle at the Little White Chapel in Vegas just before midnight on July 15th, months after revealing their engagement in April. Also, the fact that you were going to be married in August, everything had been paid for, invites have been sent out, and you had to fly that night to Vegas to get married a month before, lets me know that Ben was having cold feet, and he was just like, yeah, but if you love me, you'll do it now. And let's not forget when they went on their honeymoon, Ben left her a few days into the honeymoon, and Jennifer continued the honeymoon by herself and then released a bunch of stuff saying, no, but it's super, super cool. You don't understand. Like, it's great. We can get money together, and we don't always have to be together. We leave and get money. And I'm like, girl, you're literally on your honeymoon, right? But they had a second honeymoon, so cool. She said, we did it. Love is beautiful. Love is kind. That's what she posted. It turns out love is patient. Love is patient. Have you told Ben that? She said, behind us, two men held hands and held each other. In front of us, a young couple who made the 3-hour drive from Victorville, California on their daughter's second birthday. All of us wanting the same thing. I know Ben's sitting there like whistling in the wind. For the world to recognize us as partners and to declare our love to the world through the ancient and nearly universal symbol of marriage. Ancient, I guess. For the ceremony, what else? She said they read their vows. They even had a Bluetooth for the short march down the aisle, but in the end, it was the best possible wedding we could have imagined. One we dreamed of long ago, and one made very real. In the eyes of the state, Las Vegas, a pink convertible, and one another at very, very long last. Listen, as soon as she attained the wedding license, she changed her name to Mrs. Lynn Affleck. You know, if she wants to talk about ancient and universal, I think the ancient hurt and universal hurt she feels toward Ben for the hurt he gave her is a lot. Let us also not forget, right, that Jennifer trying to rewrite history about what happened with her and Ben. She's saying that right? Let's not forget saying me and Ben became friends at first. That's the God honest truth. There are a lot of people that said that he had cheated, but I get listen, I don't know what they did in their bedroom, but Ben did the same thing with Jennifer Garner. It seems like he had emotional affairs to escape the persons he's with, and then his actions somehow do something to bring it all crumbling down. She said the couple was set to walk down the aisle in September 2003, but called off the wedding days before exchanging their vows, saying, due to the excessive media attention surrounding our wedding, we decided to postpone the date. When we found ourselves seriously contemplating hiring 3 separate decoy brides at 3 different locations, we realized something was wrong. By we, meaning Ben, because Jennifer, she was on a high in 2003. She was down with the decoy brides. They were her thing. And she loved the attention that they got from the paparazzi. Ben was the one that started getting mad because he started blaming Jennifer for his career going down because the people around him kept saying that it wasn't a good look to date a Latina actress. Now, and I know it sounds weird, but back then, Hollywood wasn't as opening and welcome as it is now to Latina actresses. And they looked at, Jennifer was always trying to prove herself. And the fact, again, Jennifer, she keeps skirting on saying, Ben was the one that said that like he thought you were a bad look and that you embarrassed him. And imagine somebody being embarrassed for what you are, a Latina actress. Anyway, they never rescheduled their impending nuptials. That lets you know Ben called off the wedding. And then I think a year and a half later, Jennifer moved on to Mark Anthony, right? And Jennifer Garner tied the knot in 2005, but they started dating in 2003. And Ben said he fell in love with her on the set of 2002 on the set of Daredevil, Jennifer Garner. And then him and Jennifer Lopez break up a year later. And then Jennifer Garner and Ben go on to be married and have how many kids? I'm just saying. Listen, they said there's no question that Jen and Ben will be engaged. She's told pretty much everyone that he lost Jen once before, and he's not going to let that happen again. It's meant to be. And if you see them together, there's no doubt about it. It took a while for Jen and Ben to find each other. There were so many naysayers. They thought there was no way the second chance at love would work, but it has. A proposal was imminent, followed by a fabulous wedding. Y'all, listen. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I will talk to you later. But I will say, J-Lo, you should have made that man sign a prenup. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments, and I will talk to you later. Bye.